peeps, welcome back to another episode of 3-4 Thursday, where I share 3 things about something on Thursday. I'm your host, Gladys from Heart Take the Wheel, your brand and business photographer. Now today's episode is about content idea generation, etc. Number 1 is engagement. What is your audience already engaging with? What's already resonating with them? What questions have they been asking you in response to content you've already created? Take these ideas, take what's already, being shared, being commented on. Maybe people are more than one person is commenting on one aspect of something you've shared. And that same aspect is being commented on. So maybe you wrote this long post on Instagram and more than one person really picked one part of what you set out specifically. Maybe you need to just take that, make a quote out of it. Maybe you need to take that and share more about it on your stories. Maybe you need to take that and make a video about it. Maybe you need to expand on that. Or maybe you showed something and they asked a question about that something. That would be something worth, saying oh, great, cool. Let's take these questions that people are asking based on content I've already created and let's expand on that. Maybe you need to realize, maybe take a look at all the type of content that you've created, what out of everything is mostly engaged with? What are the common threads through that? What is kind of really analyze that and find out what that you share, what topics, what style of content that you create is being more engaged with than other things, if that makes sense, more resonated with. That's the content that maybe you should focus on. So hopefully that helps you create some more content ideas just based on what's already being engaged with and what people are already liking, sharing, asking questions on, etc. And kind of just follow those trends on what your audience is responding to. The second idea I have for you on creating content would be to dive into your pain points and struggles of your target audience or client, etc. There's 2 ways to kind of think about this. One, maybe they've already shared these pain points with you. Maybe they responded and commented to something and said, yeah, but. That's usually a starter to them explaining a pain point of theirs or a struggle of theirs or a roadblock of theirs, right? You can also be really in tune with your target. The more in tune you are with your target client, your audience members, and what they are struggling with, the more you are in tune with that and can create content around that and can highlight that and help them through that very specific pain point, the stronger you are, I think, as a very niched down brand, because then people know to go to you for that very specific pain point. And let's see, the more you can identify the pain points you've already seen within your audience, then people know that you're responding to them and helping them through what they struggle with. And they will come back for more, knowing that you're listening and are not just a robot creating content, but a person creating content, a human creating content in response to and what helps truly your audience. So they know that you're there serving them and helping them through their struggles. And sometimes it's really obvious stuff, and sometimes it's more detailed stuff. So being willing to cover what you might think is rudimentary, or what you might think is easy, or everyone knows this kind of stuff, you can cover that, because when we're stuck and we're struggling with a part of our life or business, we start to tunnel down and we have a hard time seeing through, and we overthink, overanalyze, and we just assume that the answer to our problem either A, costs a lot of money, or B, is going to be really, really hard. And while sometimes that's true, that also means that we're locked out to maybe the simplest things, or oh, duh, I'm overthinking this. And we need that outside person to really point out those types of things. I'm not wearing my earrings. I just realized I'm wearing one stud and my actual earrings aren't on. Okay, number 3. I have my notes. That's what this is about. Okay, number 3, the third idea I have for you for creating content ideas would be to take another look or perspective at something you've already created. So looking back at number 1, maybe a lot of people really resonated with one little story you did on Instagram or one post you made on Facebook, etc. And yes, you can take that and start reading into how you can make more content on that idea, But part of that would be taking maybe another perspective, maybe taking devil's advocate on it, maybe showing a different view of it. Instead of just diving deep and creating more content like it, maybe you can create more content about it in a different look, in a different light. So that could mean maybe a behind the scenes version of that. That could be maybe I am interviewing someone or talking to someone about that, maybe bringing in more people to try it, maybe workshopping it. Maybe you're going to take one part of that and dive a little deeper into it. So for example, on Insta stories one morning, I decided I would just share a very quick behind the scenes. It was like maybe 2 slides or whatever, 2 stories of how I photographed my coffee that morning. Because I photographed my coffee really quick, and with my camera and everything, I edited it really quick and uploaded it for my Insta story that day while drinking that very same coffee. Like, that's how quick this was for me. And I was like, well, maybe people want to see this really quick behind the scenes. So I really quickly showed them how I was bouncing the light, where I positioned everything, and just like, it was very quick. Like I said, 2 stories max, I think. It was like 30 seconds, right? And a lot of people, like, to me, I was like, everybody knows this, but a lot of people, that there's parts of it that sparked new ideas or gave them a new light on it, or were like, oh, I didn't know it was that simple, like, how cool, and I'm gonna try that, etc. And I was like, well, maybe I could dive deeper on this, different ways, different perspectives on it. Could be, maybe I could do a video showing someone else how to do it and having someone do it in front of the camera and learn it in front of the camera. So maybe they're going to ask questions and stumble through it, and that might be resonating for you, right, as an audience member. Another thing I could do is maybe I can show why I positioned the props where I did. Maybe I can talk more about the bounce material or whatever, and how to bounce that light, and what I buy when I go shopping for things to bounce light, etc. So there are different parts, different perspectives, different takes on that same subject matter that obviously resonated with people. So instead of, on one hand, I could just make more content like it, and on the other hand, I can also make more content around it and different perspectives and different looks and takes. I hope that makes sense. So those are our 3 for Thursday on 3 ways to generate more content ideas for you. I hope that was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if it was, and subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!